Hi guys, hello everyone. I know I am so inconsistent. Okay, let me tell you the truth. What happened is I needed to take a mental health sabbatical. I needed to take a mental health break and recollect myself and come back again because I didn't anticipate the pressure and the attention all of this was gonna catch. Most of it was so unexpected. I didn't expect it, but my friends called me over and demanded that I take a short break. And to be honest with you, I will be honest in saying that social media, guys, is a very wild place, and it can easily absorb you, and then you realize but now you are living in this virtual space and you're talking to people who, like, you don't know but in what state are they in as they are busy like speaking to you like behind their keyboards. You have got no idea about what space are they in. So like I realized that as much as it can be good, it can also be quite negative. So I'm so glad I actually did take this time to be with my friends. I feel rejuvenated and recharged. I feel like, you know what, I've rebooted and I'm back to myself. And I just want to take this opportunity and thank God for the people that He's placed in my life. I think in this season of my life, I am so blessed. I am so blessed to be in the company of, number one, God-fearing friends, and number two, friends who've got my back no matter what. But you know what? I also have got friends that hold me accountable and friends that are not scared to have like candid conversations with me and call me out when I need to be called out. So like in a nutshell, guys, I think I have a very good set of friends around me. I've got people whom I know but when I am falling down, they will be there to pick me up. People whom I know but if I am feeling empty, they will refill my cup. People whom I know but when I need to take a break, they will be there to keep things going for me. So I've got people who are for me. I am not gonna lie to you. That was a curveball that was thrown to me when I heard my child speaking on that video. It was really a curveball. It was a very that hit me. That hit me because it got me thinking. What was wrong with you? You know, it made me to go down memory lane. I literally was going through my Facebook and I was looking at my pictures at the time when I met my soon-to-be ex-husband. Guys, like I was saying this to a friend. Do you know that at the point when I met this guy, I was at the prime of my flowering stage. I was and you were coming of age. And I was like, that is so true, because it was a point in my life where, you know, I'd already made peace with the fact that no, now I love things. I love being beautiful. I love having hair. I love makeup. So I was like doing hair, beautiful hair. I was having makeup on. I was loving this, you know, this new woman that I just now become. And spiritually speaking also, like I rededicated my life to Christ. I was like, oh my goodness, I was in a very good place also emotionally and also even career wise. I was like in my third year and the imposter syndrome was no longer there. I no longer had the imposter syndrome. At that point in my life, I already had my bursary that was paying up without any hassles. I didn't have to hustle like for email or whatever. I had my meals. I could afford taking care of myself. I was also taking care of my dad at that point. I was also taking care of my young sister. I was okay. The bottom line is I was okay. I was not in any need. Basingati, if we are sitting here and we're trying to analyze, what was pushing you at that current time to have chosen this kind of a man to be, you know, the future father of your unborn kids. So like that video of my son speaking like that, it took me back. It made me question myself. Abantu that you could have chosen to like start a life with, you go and you pick up someone like this. And you know, I quickly like answered myself. I was like, everything made sense at the time. You know, at the time when I made the decision to commit to that guy, everything made sense. And I was just narrating this to my friends Izolo while we were eating. Uba guys, I was not dumb. I thought I got it figured out. I thought he was checking each and every box, because the man I met him now was someone who was so ambitious. He was so ambitious. I knew, but this person is not fazed by me being a doctor. The fact that he did not like go to the same quality of tertiary like education, like he didn't get the same quality of tertiary education like I got, that doesn't faze him. He's not insecure about that. In fact, he is so convinced and so like driven about his entrepreneurial skills that he knows by he's gonna take care of his family and he's not gonna need the help of a woman. His pride, but this is not the kind of a guy that's gonna be a leech. Oh boy, was I not wrong. And then another thing was, you know, spiritually speaking, this was a person that habitually did his quiet time. And I was like, no, even spiritually speaking, when we speak, because now I'm a child of God and I'm going to want to be led by a man who is spiritually sound. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like he when he prays, it's like the heavens are opening. And like you can see that he's so convicted of God. Like another thing, I was like, look at him. He is not a flexible person. He's so disciplined. He is strict. This is the kind of a person that I would want to parent my kids with. Son. I was going down that memory lane with my friends, and I was like, guys, I was not crazy when I said yes to this man. He looked perfect on paper. He was the exact thing that I'd always told myself, but the day I decide to commit to someone, this is the person I'm going to commit to. It made sense. And then on top of that, looks-wise, he looked good. He looked good. He was like the perfect thing that I had always wanted. I'm not going to like entertain people who are saying, when I was saying, oh, this guy looked good, Uba like I don't know what good looks are. Obviously, like even when we speak, we do say about beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I know that. But when we met, when we were young at that time, he stopped looking good. He stopped. But when we met, he was good looking. He was good looking and he was kind then. He changed. Also, I am guilty of not picking up some of the red flags that I should have picked up, that should have heightened my senses for me to know that this is not what I think it was, you know? Yeah. But like this was a well-deserved break. It was it was so needed, guys. It was so needed, and I'm so grateful to God. I've got friends that even when I think, no, I'm fine, no, I can keep going, but I've got friends that can say, it's fine, we know that you are fine, but just come through. So first of all, the drive did me very well. The long drive really did me well, but also being in the company of my friends, not having to think about my kids, not having to think about anything, and literally just letting everything go and having me time and having people who are in one place just to check on me. That was it. So that's why I've been scarce, and I've also been quiet. It's because I was just soaking in. And then get over to topic. it all off, today I went to church. To top it all off, guys, today I went to church to downtown in East London, my friend's church. It was such a beautiful atmosphere. The worship in that church, those people can sing, those people worship God. They usher you into the presence of God. And I also did meet like a few friendly faces. Some people were so keen as to even offer hugs. Guys, thank you so much for loving me. Thank you for receiving me, and thank you for personalizing my story and making it your story. And even for the people that haven't really, experienced abuse as I've spoken about, or people that even cannot find pieces of my story as relatable. And I thank God for that you cannot relate to such pain. For your kindness, and for being able to be open up to having conversations. And even when you do talk about stuff, but you talk about them in such respectful manner, I have respect for that. I am not against being critiqued. I'm also not against being questioned. I'm also not against being basically being criticized. It is okay. Actually, I would find it odd if I had everyone feeling sorry for me and no one actually pointing out some of the blunders and some of the blind spots that I had, some of the stupid decisions that I made. It would actually be such a bad thing to have an audience that is fully receiving, that is also just being absorbed into the story without asking questions. That would be odd, because that would mean that we've got a generation of women that are just so accepting, that are not able to think, Uba, Godwa, you could have done this, Godwa nawe. Do you understand? So I do expect that people are going to have questions, people are going to judge the situation, some people are going to be disgusted and frustrated by it. I expect that. However, it is when people are so disrespectful and so insulting that I then realize that I think some of us were not brought up the same way. We're really not brought up the same way, because just because you are infuriated by someone's story doesn't mean someone who's coming to you and is telling you, listen, I was abused in this way, and then you think it makes sense and it's justifiable for you to abuse them and degrade them further. So yeah, I needed a break from things like that, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because now I'm going back home to my babies. I'm going back to be such a good mom to them. It's gonna be a week that I am dedicating to just throwing myself into their world, one by one of them. Luckily, so I'm just gonna be throwing myself into their lives because I want to see. I want to hear them out. I want to listen to them. Yeah. I don't have anything else, guys, to further comment as far as my son is concerned. But what I am going to say is that I've got beautiful children. I've got beautiful children who are smart, and I've got children who are very high functioning. I've got children who love me. My kids love me, and my kids are grateful to have me in their life because they know, I will make things happen for them. And if there is anything that people might have thought when they had that video of my son speaking, by the way, I just want to say that child is young, okay? He's only 8 years old. And like I am saying, he is the first child. And him being the first child means that he is the one that was mostly exposed to the abuse. He's the one child that if I am speaking to, he can literally recall most of the things that I went through, because yes, his dad was being aggressive even in front of the kids. He was being aggressive even in front of the kids. So the one child that I've done so many mistakes with is my first child, Ushile. He is the one that I've made so many mistakes and so many blunders with. And unfortunately, some of them are not even correctable. they will remain embedded in his subconscious, but I am doing everything that I can to try and rectify the ones that I can rectify. And I'm just hoping to God to heal my child, because I don't think we realize, Uba, when we as parents decide to stay in abusive situations and further like exposing our children to like the abuse, I don't think we are aware just how much we are damaging them. I don't think we are aware. I know now for one that my child is really hurting. I know he's hurting, and I know his hurt is deep-seated. I know how much my kids love their dad, because when he was there, even if he was there like for 1 or 2 days, he used to play with them. He used to throw himself into his kids' life. So my kids miss that. That is what they miss. And also when it comes to him being known as a provider by my kids, it is because that's exactly what my kids know. My kids will know him as a provider, because we would go shopping and sit and his school bag sometimes, and then when we come home, he's the one that's gonna give it to the child. And therefore the child knows, but daddy bought me that bag, even if mommy is the one that bought it and paid for it. So of course the kids know him as the provider. They do know him as a provider. And as a married woman at that time, it was my mission to cover him, so that I'm available bakhe nasebantwaneni bakhe. Guys, you know what? I want to end this video because I don't want to continue talking. But what I want to say is that let's be kind to our children. Let's be kind to our children by choosing to not stay in abusive relationships for longer. Because staying in an abusive relationship for long, firstly, it's going to damage you as the person that is going through the abuse. In guys, I promise you. You become forgetful. In fact, you become such a jumpy person because you have been in an abusive relationship for a very long time. And then when it comes to the kids born themselves, they get affected by the abuse. I am doing this module, child abuse and protection, under the postgrad that I am doing in my second year home. And the module is about child abuse. Like I say, there is something there that was being taught on, and what I've realized is that children go through different stages of abuse in their lifetime, and they experience like multiple categories of abuse. Then there is something there that was saying that mainly abantwana, they
in 1
get
kilometer
abused.
at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Alexandra Road, N2.
Okay. There was this thing like a slide that was explaining that abantwana, they will get abused by their families, like inside in their family homes. They will get abused there. Guys, abantwana, they will get abused.
Exit the roundabout onto Alexandra Road.
In their family homes.
Continue on Alexandra Road for 1
and
kilometer.
The abuse that they're getting, it could either be direct abuse where the child is being like experiencing the abuse themselves, or it could be like a secondary abuse where there is like observing abusive patterns between their parents, you know. Just from that instance, I was already triggered, because I was like, abantwana bam, I've subjected them to so much. I have subjected my kids to so much like unkindness and abuse. They have experienced the abuse. like multiple categories of abuse. And I was just thinking, but I probably need to write like a long letter to Shile. And because like there's so much hate that has been spewed under my child's name, even up on social media, I was like, my goodness, I need to write this long letter and read it out to him.
In 200 meters, turn left onto Grey Street,
but
N2.
the day he comes and he finds all of these things that are written, he knows by it.
Take the next left onto Grey Street,
He was just
N2.
a child. He was just a child. And okokuqala, I made the mistake of staying with an abusive man. I mean, I could have saved my child a lot of trouble had I decided to pack my bags and go. The first time he landed a series of slaps in my face.
In 500 meters, turn
Sheila
right
was
onto
6 months
Buffalo
old.
Road, N2.
I still had a chance then, and I could have saved Sheila all of the trouble that he's been. But guys, I didn't. That's the truth of the matter. I didn't. I stayed in an abusive relationship. I stayed for as long as I stayed. And I've got my kids who are paying the price for a decision that I took. So I'm just making a plea. I'm honestly just making a plea and saying, if you are a wife to an
Turn right
abusive
onto
man,
Buffalo Road, N2.
if you are a wife to an abusive man and you already have got kids in that marriage, I just need you to think about the damage that you are doing to your kids. It's too much.
Continue on
too much.
R63 for 800 meters.
It's too much. And not only is it too much, it doesn't get better. Really. An abusive man doesn't stop. You know, the abusive guys,
In 600 meters, turn left onto Cathcart Street, N2.
the abusive. So guys, be kind. Please be kind on social media. Be kind in the even when people share their stories, because it's impossible to share. Sorry, it's impossible to share your story and share your indo all at once. Even when you are trying like to put people on the loop and say, Mamela, this is what I am going through. This is what I want to speak about. It's impossible. Uba, like you can share everything at the same time. But we are as
left onto Cathcart Street,
as much as I was so shocked, ne? And like I was so shocked. Dibona like la tata efake umntana mglando. At the same time,
meters,
I was like, I know
take
what's
the second
happening.
exit and stay on N2,
I know what's
R63.
happening. It's him playing out like a clear card of his narc tendencies, and it's just like I feel like Ngogu, as much as I've now put myself out here and I'm like, it's fine, I can be like the sacrificial lamb for all the women who are going through abuse to feel justified and to know but they are not mad. What they are going through is validated. I feel like Ngogu, I also had like there is like Ngogu, there's a different side of it where now I'm also showing
Exit the roundabout.
I'm
onto
also
N2.
showing Ngogu the side effects.
In 500 meters,
Guys,
there's a roundabout.
the side effects
Take
that
the
are
second
being
exit onto
I suka
R63.
uyanqola lona. Ninethetha ndithi ndifuna uthetha endibhidisa. Shin. I'm saying, as much as I'm mad and I was hurt, like I was so hurt over seeing my child in that video, like just listening to him being that exploited and being led on and the things that he's saying, I was feeling so sorry for him, because I can't pinpoint exactly at one point did he have that kind of a conversation. I mean, I did confiscate the phone sometime in February, but I cannot tell you exactly when that conversation was held, you know. And so like I feel like like you've been so negligent for you to think it's okay for umntana to continue making back and forth conversations
Continue on R63 for 57 kilometers.
you know, without you supervising. Like that's the first thing I was beating myself up about. Like, I'm so negligent to have let my child continue to have conversations as when I know but I'm not supervising the conversations. But I was also telling myself, but I don't want to appear as this bitter baby mama. That the one that says that if the marriage has ended between the two of us, then you also don't get to see the kids. I didn't want to be that person. I honestly didn't want to be that person. But what that caused is I was actually subjecting my kids to being like fed nonsense telephonically, because I was trying to be nice to someone who was actually not thinking about being nice to me. Guys, there is a lot, Shem. There's just a lot. There's a lot that I needed a break from this weekend. So I am so grateful. But my friends had me at their house. Not only did they have me at their house, but like they made the whole weekend to be centered around my well-being. I cannot call them out by name because some of you were trolling my friends. So I can't call them out with their names. But what I want to say is I thank you Chomizam, that even when I think I am okay, but you are able to like see through. You are able to see through like lendo yami obang strong woman, but actually where we understand about to write it, but we want you to come and just forget for a minute, even if it's just a minute, forget for a minute. And I'm leaving now, and my spirit is so overjoyed. My spirit is so overjoyed, and I just want to thank you. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I did get an email from YouTube inviting me to set up an account so that I can become a YouTube partner. I think that has got to do with monetizing the channel. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. I've been seeing that there's a lot of comments under my videos, and I haven't had the chance to like read each and every comment and answer. I promise you I will be doing that. I should be having a chilled week this week, and I will be looking through what people are saying and try to comment back. So thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking around even though there wasn't any comment. There wasn't any content that was being shared on the page. The reason there wasn't content, guys, is because when Demane realized, Demane was shocked. Demane was shocked, and Demane realized, I didn't anticipate this. I didn't think about but thank you so much. I still have got stuff that I want to talk about with this, I still do have stuff that I want to talk about. It's just that I think the attention I got a bit overwhelming, and I was trying to handle it in the best way possible. And I also needed to also take care of some of the relationships that are very important in my life. But I don't now want to be swallowed up by the social media and the content creation shark, and then lose out on relationships that mean